heard that Apollo is good. I like Apollo as a guy. Apollo Justice is pretty bad overall. Like, you know, like, all the Ace Attorney games are at least a little good. I think all of them, like, if you really like Ace Attorney, are worth playing. Yeah, it's okay. The first case is the best one. I like the last case, too. What is this incredibly overpowering sweet scent? Francisca, what is it?
It smells like flowers.
Flowers?
Uncle Bad, is this it?
Hmm? Isn't that Detective Bad and Kay over there?
It looks like she managed to escape the bailiff.
Well, Glass?
Oh, no. No, that's not quite it.
Aw, too bad. But it's so pretty.
I think you're still a bit too young to be wearing that. But since you found it, I guess I can let you keep it.
Thanks. I'll treasure it always.
Now get out of my sight.
Those two seem to get along rather well.
Oh, here. I've got something else for you.
It's a gun.
Yay! Thank you, Uncle Bad.
I have a real salary, so I can afford it.
Earlier, I ate one of these with Gummy.
Gummy, I mean gumshoe.
Gummy is... He was trying to be nice to me because I was gonna get in trouble. And then he got in trouble because he lied to protect me. Gummy.
www.nukocomic.com.
I know he didn't kill Daddy.
Don't cry. It would be sad if you saw you crying.
I'm not crying.
Then don't cry.
Okay.
Oh, he's the mister from before. And the lady, too.
Don't you think it would be a good idea to go home for the time being?
Oh, I'm homeless. If you're not involved in the investigation, so it's best if you do. Hmm. Actually, I'm Uncle Pat's assistant. So I'm related to the investigation.
Is that so, Detective Bad?
Yeah, I guess.
What? You were just scolding up kids? What? You were just scolding... What?
Us like kids.
Oh,
Do not mess up the crime scene. And now you let this child run free. Why?
People are free to investigate things outside of the actual crime scene. I'm lying. You had a few things you wanted to look into. Got a problem with that?
I don't have a problem with that, but I am curious as to what Mr. Yu is looking into. Uh-oh. Mrs. Yu.
Uncle Pat, I'm gonna go look somewhere else now, okay?
Alright, I'm counting on you.
Oh, that's right. Hey, mister. Here's your snotty hanky.
Yes, what is it?
I know Gummy really isn't the bad guy. I mean it. So, please, find the real bad guy, okay?
I won't forgive. Ah! I won't forgive whoever did this. But in the absence of the perfect piece of testimony and evidence, if there's no one else who could be the true culprit other than Detective Gumshoe... she wandered off while I was pondering. Wandering and pondering. Hello, friend. Detective Bad, what exactly was Kay searching for?
Nothing that concerns you, boy.
Oh, and I suppose it was something to do with Kay.
It does, because she's a Faraday's daughter. Anyway, hurry up and get to the point. Don't have time to waste.
It sounds like he'd rather be left alone. I have something I'd like to confirm with you once again.
Don't have anything to say.
No.
wiggle, wiggle.
Be that as it may, we still have some questions that we need answers to. Now then, first of all, what is the overpowering smell that is permeating this room? Upon entering this room, I thought I was going to suffocate.
It's the ultra-strong perfume you wear.
Wow,
She
your voice
spills on
sounds
it.
different.
Sorry. I was having a bad time of it myself. I didn't think twice and opened the window, but that smell's still here.
Perfume, huh? So the sweet scent in the air is perfume.
Well, it's giving off quite a stench. I bet some cheap name brand.
She said it's a famous brand from overseas.
It's a knockoff. Yes, definitely a knockoff.
No disrespect, but she forced one of those bottles on me. Here, little girl, you can have it.
I was going for a much more expensive and refined perfume.
You are just awful.
However, seeing as how you just happen to have a spare, I suppose I'll take it.
I handed her a bottle of my piss.
Miles Edgeworth, you will do to hold on to this bottle without fail.
Why can't she ever be honest about her wants?
Who was voicing bad before I got here?
Alright, Glass.
Again?
Oh, I'm sorry, Glass.
Yeah, people are discussing the best and worst Ace Attorney games. 3 is really good, but goddamn, the third case in 3 is so terrible. It's like that dumb mirror section of the last case we just played through this morning, except it's the entire case. So now we have the perfume Miss Yu wears. Just fantastic.
Is that all you wanted to talk about? If so, I'm going back to investigating.
Actually, I still have a few other things I wish to inquire about.
God, that's such a funny and well-made sprite.
So you were in this room the entire recess.
Like I said, I made a call to the precinct to get that big lug down here. But other than that, I was waiting for the recess to end in here.
At least your story is consistent.
Earlier, you stated that you were in the lobby with Miss Yu.
Yeah, I ran into her in the hallway. She said she wanted to talk to me about something, so we came in here.
Then what you're saying is that until Detective Gumshoe's arrival, you and Miss Yu were in 2 different locations?
Guess I am.
Interesting.
Speaking of that lawyer, she seems to have a great dislike for you.
Oof.
Nice.
Nice read.
Nice read,
You
Velma.
want to try that again?
No, it was perfect. Let's see. Miss Yu is the sister of the victim of the KG-8 incident. And as I recall, Detective Bad was the lead detective on the case. I wonder if the reason for her disdain isn't simply because you failed to guard Cece. Isn't simply because you failed to guard Cece, but because you were the lead detective on the case.
You knew?
I also know that today's trial involved the Kadofian ambassador. It's being referred to as the second KGB incident.
KGB.
KGB.
Now then, detective, I believe it's time you were honest with me and told me the truth behind your relationship with Miss Yu and Mr. Faraday and the KG-8 incident.
No.
If you already know that much, I guess it'd be alright to tell you. You'll have to ask me to actually start this conversation, though.
Now that he's just hoping Miles will walk away. Now then, I'd like to ask you a few questions about the KG-8 incident.
It's not exactly a happy story, other than the people who were directly involved. You two will be the first to hear what I'm about to tell.
Oh, can we get that noir music going?
The honest truth behind the KG-8 incident. Faraday, you and I,
Me?
as you already know. He just like presses the
Lollipop into your cheek.
No. As you already know, we 3 were involved with the KG-8 incident. Faraday and I, we were originally on the trail of a smuggling ring.
You mean the smuggling case involving one of the Amano Group's secretaries?
That trial was just a front.
A facade?
Yeah. But the case became tainted. All because the witness who was going to testify about the Amano Group's ties to the smuggling ring, CCU, was killed.
Then what became of the secretary who was arrested?
His name was Colin Deveray. To be honest, the guy didn't know a thing about the smuggling ring. But he confessed to knowing about it anyway. Deveray was probably being intimidated by the big boss man. Just another scapegoat.
The boss man of the Amano Group. He can't seriously mean Mr. Ernest Amano. That can't be right. It's probably just It's probably just Detective Bat's personal hypothesis. What's he trying to do? Smuggling?
I suppose it would have been quite difficult to secure an acquittal after he confessed. But the man who killed CCU, Manny Kochin, was a completely different person.
I don't know. I don't know what the pun is, so... It's Francisco.
But since he's already been acquitted once of murder... Mr. Faraday, how could you have let him go?
If I remember correctly, I heard that Mr. Faraday had an important piece of evidence stolen from him.
That wasn't Faraday's fault. It was mine. I wasn't vigilant enough. Faraday, Cece. I was supposed to protect both of them.
Miss Yu did mention that as well, about how Detective Bad was supposed to guard her sister.
But even I was supposed to protect them.
I got pizza.
Oh,
Sorry, I have
that's
pizza.
fine.
I can't
Oh.
listen to your sad fact story.
Damn it, Miles.
Can I, have a slice?
gets there. Kay's already eaten pretty much most of the pizza.
You miss-
Some of my tea. See?
Yep.
That's why they call me Cohesive.
The new Disney original movie.
Fuck no, like I'd sell my soul to Disney.
The now
Like a
canceled.
glass on it coming a mile away.
The now canceled Disney original movie, Cuppy Sip, made by DreamWorks.
I'm back.
Never.
I now have a delicious pizza. All right, go on with your sad story.
Entertain me
Right.
while I eat.
This is really good pizza. Shame you can't have any since you're sad.
Is that the base?
Is that the deficit?
I fell into the trap of pizza.
Oh, sorry. Couldn't help but notice that you're crying over the phone there. Can't deliver your pizza. Sorry. You'll have to call back when you're happier, you sad sack of shit.
What kind of a trap?
Pizza trap, I just said.
The holes in the jacket are a testament to that trap.
You mean you were fired upon?
You were shot at that many times in one gunfight?
No. Only about half of these are from that case. But
Get
The
your
reason I
jacket,
can-
you hobo.
but the reason I continue to wear this jacket is to remind myself of the lessons I learned from the KG-8 incident.
I love this character archetype, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
I see.
I couldn't protect CCU, and the suspect was found not guilty. We had hit a brick wall, as far as the law was concerned. And that's when she came to the courtroom, the victim's sister.
Legs forever.
That's, that's when I first met Callisto Yu.
About when you first met Miss Yu, was it on the day the verdict of the KG-8 incident? Oh, it was on that day, was it not?
Yes, Faraday and I, we apologized to her from the bottom of our hearts. It was all we could do, but
Just saying you're sorry won't bring my sister back.
she said,
God, spot on.
Sounds
Thank you.
just like her.
I wanted to be an actor. Anyways,
Well, what happened about that? Tell me more of your sad backstory while I eat this pizza.
that's
and
where the
don't-
other half of the bullet holes came from. Next question.
My pizza?
And then she gave me a hard slap across the face.
Well, she certainly had a lot of self-control to stop at just a slap. If it was me, not even 100 lashes would have been punishment enough.
Really not appropriate.
I suppose not.
I just want to be relevant.
You said it herself,
No, I didn't.
that she never wanted to see either of us ever again.
Will, thank you for laughing at my insistence on making
Oh,
that joke.
I love that kind of a
love it.
joke. Are you kidding me?
But after that, you've seen her many times over, correct?
Yeah. Faraday and I, even after the KG-8 incident, had come to a close...
A close.
A close. That makes a lot more. Thank you. It's why I couldn't be an actor. We continued to hunt down the smuggling ring and got involved in a
Fuck.
variety of cases. But it was no use. We cracked so many different cases. But the result was always the same. We couldn't find the real mastermind behind the ring.
Is the
Or in
ring
it.
really that big?
It was in the pursuit of that ring that we met you once again.
Oh, yeah, no. Were you doing that this morning? That's when we met, I think.
He just glares as you're eating pizza. It was during another trial related to the smuggling ring. Faraday was the prosecutor and I, as the lead detective. That's all, folks. Took to the witness stand. She appeared out of the blue as a defense attorney.
Her client was related to the smuggling ring, and she was defending them?
Yeah. You was pursuing the ring as best she could as a lawyer. I think she defended Rel this time, for the same reason.
Come to think of it, Miss Yu did say something to the same effect.
It sounds like Faraday was a bad guy. I have my own agenda. I'm still on the hunt for leads regarding the KG-8 incident, alright?
And for that, you have not a single qualm, goddamn bitch.
Don't you put pizza in my mouth? I said
I'm not,
no
no,
such
this is all for me. I'm not even giving Francisca any, fuck her.
Give me some of that.
No.
Bitch, I will come into the future to get you.
Yeah.
The only way I had to get close to Mr. Ra was to be his lawyer.
Like, how did she get it?
Ever.
My pizza.
So, don't you dare suggest I was going to.
It doesn't matter what her reason is. Helping a criminal is just despicable.
You're so naive, little girl.
Stabs her.
Spits in her face.
I could have stolen this lollipop from you. That's how naive you are. In fact, I did. I'm from the
How
future.
do you take my lollipop and then insult the daughter of Yvonne Karma?
She took my pizza.
Just like us. You felt she had hit the limit of what the law could do. Gun. That's all.
I'm waiting for it. I really am.
The law is merely a tool. There's no limit to it, only the skill of the craftsman.
You two are still too young. But one day you'll know what I mean. But enough sidetracking. What matters is what topping did you get?
Oh, it's
Is that
pepperoni and
remake-
basil.
Oh, that is pretty nice. Is that weed meat? Is it,
Did you, say, did you just say, is that weed meat?
I love him. He said weed meat.
Francisca,
Basil.
I've got the weed meat.
Alright, it is time to blaze up, as they say.
I can't. You know, this is illegal in this state. Miles Edgeworth, how could you make me a criminal?
I am trained, Papa. He will kill you.
Bad cracks knuckles. Finally, a reason.
So, what was your relation to Mr. Faraday? You even seem to know Kay fairly well.
I met him when he was a rookie prosecutor. Known him ever since.
I met him when my wife gave birth. He's my son.
And Kay, I've known her since the day she was born. Faraday and I, we cracked quite a few cases together.
But you two seem to have made no progress at all in the Arturazu case. What's up with
A
that?
stunning update.
Thanks, kid.
Did we touch a nerve?
Yeah, you guys are being super rude.
I only have one thing to say to you.
Piss.
No one knew more about the Hatagarasu case than me and Faraday.
Yeah, because I'm guessing what's going on is, like, this guy uses his insight in the law and is like, all right, here's a bunch of criminals we can't legally prosecute, so you, as the thief, go and get their shit and expose them.
Yeah.
That's why I was called upon to testify in today's trial. To prove that Rel was not the real Yatagarasu. Which I would have done if he hadn't turned around and accused Faraday. After that accusation, I was asked to testify, but this time, to prove or disprove the accusation. But I guess I won't be doing that either.
I sense that there's more to that statement than meets the eye. Perhaps a bit more digging into the Yatagarasu is what's necessary. You claim to know much about the Yatagarasu.
Why are you yelling?
Would you like to share with me? Unlike my pizza?
I'm killing you.
Understandable.
What you two should be looking for right now
That meat plant has really seemed to got into him.
is proof of murderous intent towards Faraday and Realm.
I agree, which is exactly why I am asking you about the Yatagarasu.
What?
The KG-8 incident and this second KG-8 incident. Both of these cases are tied to the smuggling ring, and in both of these cases, the witness who was to testify about the ring was murdered. However, there is one point in which they differ, and that is the presence or absence of the great thief Yatagarasu. Mr. Rel claimed to be the Yatagarasu. However, excuse me, in the middle
You
of...
sick son of a bitch!
In the middle
Oh,
of...
that was swipe.
What are you going to do? Run off to Daddy and tell him I burped?
Whip.
He suddenly declared Mr. Faraday to be the real Yatagarasu. Then, during the recess, they were both killed. Don't you find that to be the least bit odd?
Now that's it, Will. Stop beating around the bush and just spit it out already.
I already did. Burp!
You.
I believe
Disgusting.
there must be some reason for that. The two men suspected of being the Yatagarasu were both killed at the same time.
Two birds, one stone.
A reason, huh?
And so, in order to catch Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rel's cold-blooded killer, I feel that I need to learn as much as I can about the Yatagarasu.
If it will help you solve this case, then I'll tell you. I'll tell you the reason why we've never caught the Yatagarasu.
What was that sudden outburst for? You almost made me whip you by accident.
It still accidentally whipped me anyway.
There are three main reasons why the Yatagarasu will always be one step ahead. First, I tell them what we're doing. Second,
We get drinks together.
Third, it's me. Bang, bang. The Yatagarasu always knows the exact location of the target object. Second, the Yatagarasu always knows exactly how to disarm the security system. Third, the Yatagarasu doesn't leave a single shred of evidence behind, ever.
I see. So, those are the traits, huh, buddy?
Sounds like an incredibly elusive thief.
The Yatagarasu has never been caught on tape. Never tries to draw anyone's attention.
Someone in
will
chat.
never do something.
Bad is Yatagarasu spelled backwards.
And would never do something as lowbrow as commit murder. Probably. That's how I knew that Rel wasn't the real Yatagarasu right away.
But you can't use that sort of logic on its own to prove that he wasn't.
Listen, little girl, I'm not done talking yet. What's different about this time was that evidence related to the smuggling ring was sent to the police.
Just gonna save. Just it's been a while.
Saved to slot 1. And the sender was none other than the one who infiltrated the Kadopian embassy, the Yatagarasu.
The Yatagarasu sent the evidence?
Until now, the Yatagarasu would always publicize any corrupt dealings through the mass media. But not this time. The evidence this time was something only Faraday and I, and a select
Hi,
few
my
others
name is
knew about.
Pro Mr. Regate. Nice to meet you.
In that case, how can you be so sure that it was the Yatagarasu who sent it?
That's easy.
He's me.
A special card that only Yatagarasu uses was attached. That's how I can be so sure.
And just what sort of card is it?
Here, take a look at this article.
Are you crying?
I have a hard time reading. Whenever the Yatagarasu... A white card is sent along with the stolen information. But when we questioned Rel about what was sent along with the white card, Rel had no idea what it was.
Ah, and that's how Detective Bad knew that Mr. Rel was a phony. Thank you very much. I have a much better understanding of the Yatagarasu now.
Excuse me. Oh gosh.
We're a hive right now. Okay, you ready?
All right.
1, 2, 3.
Excuse me, Mr. Edgeworth.
That probably sounded terrible
Jesus.
for you, but it was in sync for stream. Yes?
His Honor would like So if you could please hit the courtroom, we much appreciate it.
Understood. I'll be there shortly.
They almost assimilated you, Edward.
Detective Bad, what does the law mean to you?
The hoobity-doo? Finding the answer to the question is the only reason I'm still alive.
Ooh, look at you with all of your morality.
I became a prosecutor to find the answer to that question myself, and to play a part in ensuring that all criminals everywhere are found guilty.
Neat.
I'm lost!
Where am I?
Is this the bathroom?
Oh, it's you, Mr. Edgeworth. It appears that His Honor is a bit dispirited. For the first time today, I experienced what it's like to stand at the witness stand. Oh, I now have a greater appreciation for just how hard it is to give a testimony.
Well, there's no reason for you to be depressed about it, Your Honor. As judge, no one expects you to think about anything other than the verdict.
Francisco, there is no need to further depress His Honor.
But I totally could. I'm not trying to, but I could.
Your Honor. Your Honor, I've come to collect the evidence that was transferred to me. Your Honor, the evidence? I was hungry. Your Honor. Oh, you! Yes, can I help you? I'd like to collect the evidence now, sir.
Your Honor? Do you think you can stay focused long enough to at least do your job?
Yes, I'm sorry. I would, except the defense attorney has yet to arrive.
She's busy with the investigation. So, let's keep this brief, shall we? This is my index finger.
Oh!
Very well. In that case, please confirm that all the pieces of evidence are present. Furthermore, the evidence that was used in the murders of Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rell are also included. So, please use them in your investigation. Do it.
Understood, Your Honor. The pieces of evidence that were used in the murder of these two men. This could be a very good chance for me to find new leads regarding their case. Sorry, I'm at a weird angle. It's hard to see the blue text. And maybe even something that will finally lead me. Something that will finally end me.
Oh, thank God.
Finally leave this world.
Hand me that handgun.
I've placed all the evidence over at the prosecutor's bench for you.
That's nice of you. I see. Thank you very much. I will go and confirm that they are all accounted for. That's one of my favorite jokes in any game. So, this is the evidence related to today's Cadofian Embassy trial and from Mr. Faraday's bag.
You mean the evidence bag that was on the table in lobby number 2, right?
Yes.
Amy, what are you saying to me?
Amy!
Yes. Finally, we can now take a look at the evidence itself, and not just data about them. Let's be sure to thoroughly examine them while we have the time.
Agreed.
But...
Get the evidence from the embassy mother, too.
And why is that?
I think it's cool. Because I still don't fully understand what today's trial is about.
Ah. Don't point your crop at me just because you don't know something!
And don't you try to order me around just because Papa chose you today.
I see someone is still sore about not being picked by Mr. Von Karma. It's also...
No, you go ahead.
Oh, okay. It's also real to see the knife up close. So, we have the knife, the gun, an envelope. What's this organizer doing here?
Oh, that's right. I completely forgot to tell you.
About what, Your Honor?
They found Mr. Faraday's personal organizer inside that evidence bag of his. Detective Bad requested it be passed along to you. He said it would help with the investigation.
Detective Bad said that.
With this strange stroke of luck,
Damn it! No, you're not supposed to let them know. You're supposed to let it slowly figure it out themselves.
whose fault is that?
Well, never look a gift horse in the mouth, eats pizza.
Eating pizza while looking at evidence?
We might as well flip
Shit,
through
there's
it too.
blood on this. Oh, that's sauce.
I won't rest until I've the usual. A gun! This gun. It was originally used to kill the Cadofian Embassy staff member. When the crime was reported, the responding police found Mr. Rell still holding it, which led to his immediate arrest.
And then, this gun took the original shooter's life. How ironic.
Indeed. There doesn't seem to be anything else we can learn from this piece of evidence. Oh hey, it's a knife.
Who would have thought that such a beautiful piece of art could be used for such a cruel act?
And it's never even crossed your mind that you use your writing crop for the wrong purpose? Ow. Mr. Faraday's
Hit him with a
organizer.
table?
It appears he was in the habit of using it. Yeah.
Shit, you right.
Looks like he wrote a strategy for casting.
I have collected the evidence I need to prove that Rell was the killer. Between the handgun Rell had on him when he was arrested and the surveillance tape, I should be able to prove that he was the one.
It appears that Mr. Faraday honestly believed Mr. Rell was the killer in the case.
The sound of his handgun going off was recorded with superb clarity on the surveillance video. I also have evidence that I can use to prove that Rell is not the real Yatagarasu.
And it would appear that he had proof that Mr. Rell was not the Yatagarasu.
No matter how many he tried to play it, as long as I have the Yatagarasu's key, I can prove he's a phony. If I present it to him in court, it should clear everything up.
And he also apparently had a very definitive piece of evidence.
It's been a long battle. I hope that
Yes,
this
I believe
will
that Mr.
finally
Faraday
bring
was
it to
prepared to
an
discredit
end.
any claim that Mr. Rell might have made about the real Yagamaterasu.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you getting tired of listening to my ghost voice narrate?
Oh, this is it. And the only way to prove that Mr. Rell was guilty party in the embassy murder.
He was guilty party! This organizer is a clue straight from Mr. Faraday. I'll have to take my time and give it a thorough read later. Or his ghost voice will narrate it.
Look, there's a picture stuck between these pages here.
What is this?
Wow, it's almost like it's the knife.
It appears to be a key.
Wiggle, wiggle, and a rather ornate one at that. Just look at the design on the handle.
The craftsmanship is superb. Could this be the Yatagarasu's key Mr. Faraday mentioned in his organizer?
The Yatagarasu's key?
Detective Bad said something earlier.
Give it back.
could open and see the Yarugurasu.
He was the Awasu send Abraham.
The Yarugurasu. Wow, was sadly grumpy and me. Not Sam.
It sounds like we're doing a bad, mean impression of two really drunk jazz singers.
Mr. Faraday must have been trying to keep the secret key safe.
As the prosecutor on both the Yatagarasu and smuggler on both the Yarurasu and smuggling ring cases, that's to be expected.
It's the fucking knife, you bitch!
That's odd. This is the knife.
What is it?
Mr. Faraday didn't mention anything about a knife in his organizer.
That certainly is odd.
The weapon that was used to kill the Cadopian embassy bastard was the gun. But if that's the case, then where did the knife that was used to murder... Fuck it.
He lived up to his name!
Isn't it obvious? It was brought into the courthouse by Mr. Rail. That's the only logical conclusion, right?
No, because it's not that easy to smuggle a weapon like that in here. Every person who enters the courthouse is checked thoroughly for contraband. Furthermore, the suspect was handcuffed, making it impossible for him to bring a knife as large as this inside.
In that case, how do you suppose the knife ended up inside the courthouse? Please, I am fishing for answers.
I know exactly what it is.
I need to think carefully here. There is nothing related to the knife written anywhere in Mr. Faraday's organizer.
Hold on, what the fuck is a yodel rat suit?
However, it is a fact that this knife came from Mr. Faraday's evidence bag. Conversely, there is one item listed in Mr. Faraday's organizer that no one has claimed to have seen today. So in order to solve this mystery, I believe I'll need to take another good look at the evidence.
Miles Edgeworth, can I take the fact that you have yet to answer me to mean that you don't have the answer for me?
Actually, I do know the answer, Francisca.
What? Then what is it?
One of the pieces of evidence we've been holding has been hiding a secret of its own. And it was through this piece of evidence that the knife was brought into the courthouse.
It's the knife!
It was hidden in the knife.
That can't be right.
Well, it'll be the key. You'll have a
Yeah,
picture
it is
of
definitely the key. The
Or unless
handle
it's
to the
shitty
knife
pen.
is like the
I
exact
think it's gonna be
same.
the pen. I don't think. Okay, no, I got the key. I gotta be honest. I think it's the pen. I'll do this though. Nope. All right, you're right. This Yatagarasu's key, Mr. Faraday mentions in his organizer. This is how the knife was brought into the courthouse.
You're not making any sense, Miles Edgeworth.
You're right. You just need to look a bit closer, Francisca, to see what I mean.
I cannot, I am so short-sighted.
Don't the color and ornamentation of the key's handle remind you of anything? I'm gonna be real, I probably would... Like, I don't think I would have noticed this, weirdly. It seems really obvious.
They do remind me of a knife.
Very good. Both the Yatagarasu's key in this photo and the murderous knife have this very unique design on their handles. Furthermore, even though Mr. Faraday mentions the Yatagarasu's key, the only object we found at the crime scene was the knife.
You don't seriously mean to say...
No. It appears that you've finally caught up. And yes, I do mean to say that these two pieces are, in fact, one and the same.
But that is impossible.
No it isn't.
Shit, you right. We give up.
Sorry, Gumshoe. Even if that's what you want to believe, we should still investigate this possibility. Now then, let us examine this knife in a little more detail.
Oh, I broke it.
Oops, chomp.
You just had your pizza. Why are you so greedy?
This knife is a quality nib.
It's the weapon that was used to kill Mr. Faraday. The handle and the blade itself both have beautiful designs worked into them.
Look, there's even a flower-shaped design in the gold section here. If this hadn't been used to do it for murder, I'd want it for myself. No, I still want it.
She seems to be drawn to the embellishments. Too bad this isn't mine to give.
Look at the side.
Look at the size.
That's actually
Isn't
pretty.
it neat?
That's pretty sick, actually.
Yeah! I can't believe it turned into a key. Those things are such a trick to this thing.
So, the weapon used to kill Mr. Faraday is actually the key the Yatagarasu stole. This piece of infinite is more critical than anything we've learned up until now.
This piece of Infinity War.
Frankly, I'm shocked.
Mr. Faraday only mentioned the key aspect of this piece of evidence in his organizer. It's possible that even he had no idea a key was hiding a knife blade inside.
But if that's true, then only someone who knew about the key and the knife trick could have killed Mr. Faraday.
Even among law enforcement, this key was top secret. We're looking for someone who knew even more about the key than Mr. Faraday. Meaning that the only person who could be in here is the person who sent the key in the first place. The great thief, Yatagarasu.
Then maybe Mr. Rare really was Ratajaja Potato. And he was the one who killed Mr. Faraday. Isn't that what
Oh, it didn't load for me, so it just said, isn't that one possible?
No, not really. Especially since Mr. Faraday was absolutely convinced that Mr. Rel was not the Yatagarasu. Besides, as Detective Bad said earlier,
Better skip it with it sitting around with the white card. I had no idea where it was.
I see. Alright, then I guess the person who knows the trick behind this key is someone else. And that person is the real Yatagarasu.
oops. It seems that this key is truly the key to solving this case.
Shut up.
Fair enough. I took a quick look through these documents before the trial started. Well, I wasn't
even afforded the opportunity to skim it.
I suppose I should explain it to you then.
Yes, you should. Perfectly and in its entirety, if you please.
On the night of September 8th, an embassy staff member was killed in front of the embassy. The staff member died of shock due to being shot in the heart. That's not shock, dude!
That's just dying.
Mackerel was brought in that night as a suspect and thoroughly questioned, because the murder weapon was found on him, for which he was arrested on the spot.
A simple ton of a man, that's what he was.
Perhaps he was, for the weapon wasn't the only incriminating evidence he had. Mr. Rel was also caught in the act on film by a security camera.
He was an even bigger simpleton than I thought.
I can't believe he didn't know.
No, that is fine.
I didn't notice a security camera. The Cadopian Embassy's security system is supposedly very well designed. He may have simply not been aware that there was a camera in the area.
So, have you seen the contents of the video for yourself?
Gun. Yes.
Oh,
The surveillance
quite
video.
dead.
The surveillance video the security candidate took. It was played during the. How's that for a perfect explanation? You can clearly identify Mr. Rel on it. Even the sound of the gunshot was crystal clear. Or was it a balloon?
So the footage included sound, huh? Don't think I'd ever want to see the moment of someone's death in real life.
Me neither. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
That's odd. We're short one piece of evidence. And the piece that's missing is the surveillance video that was in court.
The surveillance video? How could a piece of evidence just disappear? Where did it go?
The video showing the moment in which Mr. Rel committed the murder. Where could it have gone? Indeed!
Are you done with your inspection of the evidence?
Yes, I'm finished. However, Your Honor, I'm missing a single piece of prosecutorial evidence.
Your Honor, will you derelict on your duties?
I was just hungry. What? No! I dare not lick my duties. What do you take me for?
No,
A
Your Honor.
duty eater!
No, Your Honor. The most important piece of evidence in today's trial, the surveillance video, is not amongst the evidence you laid out for me.
But I brought Mr. Faraday's bag with me from the crime scene. Maybe the tape is somewhere at the crime scene.
It's in the fucking TV, bitch.
There's something wrong here. Something about this missing piece of evidence. It would appear that for me to find the answers I seek, I will have to pay another visit to the scene of the crime! Abandoned lobby number 2.
So I got popcorn.
Oh.
September 10.
My mom says hi.
Hi, Susan.
They all say hello.
And that's Detective Bad. And who is he? Oh, no.
Aw.
I've never seen that officer before.
So, did you find it?
No, not yet. And I've looked everywhere.
I see. Well then, please continue with the search.
Understood. I'll continue the search.
That was an order, yeah.
So you're the one running the show. Prosecutors like you shouldn't even be allowed at crime scenes.
How
My
dare
mom
you?
says yay.
Just who do you think you are?
Run and run, leaving scars.
What was that about? What was that all about? And who was that man just now?
Whoever he was, I've never seen a more impudent officer in my life.
Does he even know where we're standing? Does he even know we're standing right behind him?
I know you're standing right behind me. What do you want, kids?
It looks like you were paying attention after all.
Fuck you.
No, I have a mirror. Of course I was. I have eyes in the back of my head.
That's his breakdown portrait.
He has
Ah,
holes in the back of his thing so he can see through it.
That mirror isn't for vanity's sake. It's for him to keep an eye out on who or what is behind him at all times. So, tell me, Detective Bad, who was that rude man just now?
The guy came here from the Republic of Zhangfa? Zhangfa? Is that we're saying it?
Yeah, Zhangfa.
He's Agent Lang. He's trying everything he can to revive the lost honor of his family.
Oops. No. I want to see some evidence.
Look at this dead body.
He's traveling the world to study different philosophies of detainment from scratch.
By visiting various police departments around the world. He has a lot of dedication.
He's still just a rookie cop, but I sense a strong grudge of some sort from him.
I smell it. I eat grudges.
The guy's more useful than Gumshoe, even if he is rude.
Well, he sure has a lot of guts to come to this country and give prosecutors a hard time.
I agree. However, I can think of one young lady that statement also applies to. Anyway, what was that?
What the fuck did you say?
I was just thinking, Jesus Christ! What was that agent looking for, Detective Bad?
Earlier, that little girl was poking around lobby number 1 as well.
Like I said before, it's got nothing to do with the two of you.
I highly doubt that it has nothing to do with me. Fine. If this is the game we must play, I will take this opportunity to draw out what he's been hiding with what happened in this room. Straight. Talk to me!
Talk to me.
Speak to me, man.
Talk to me. Baby, won't you talk to me? Detective Gumshoe was rather shocked at this and said it was huge compared to his own.
Ha! Anything you compare with something he owns will always seem grandiose.
Speaking of grandiose, I'd say that ego of yours could use a little deflating. It's out of her ears. I suppose it's impossible to enter or exit through these. I'm trying to talk to this bastard.
Got something to say to me, kid? You're just like squishing between
I'm
yourself.
smelling that perfume you spilled on yourself.
It's just suggesting Francisca to slip through the bars and test it out.
Yeah. Earlier you were in the lobby. Earlier you were in lobby number 1, and now you're in the 2. You were quite the busy man, Detective Bad.
Multiple returns to a crime scene brings about success. That's what we detectives say.
I see. In that case, you wouldn't mind if I asked you what happened again, correct?
I don't have anything left to say to you, boy.
Boy! You'll see. I will draw my answers from you one way or another. Present gun.
Would it kill you to help us even a tiny bit in our investigation?
He was pretty forthcoming last time.
He was.
I gave Faraday's notebook to the judge earlier. That's help enough, don't you think?
Please,
Keep texting me.
we are asking you for just a bit more of your cooperation.
Don't push me, kid.
Anyway, I'm going to push you now.
I read that really fast. I said, time for murder. I was
Holy
like, oh
shit.
shit.
I'd like to ask once again about what happened around here at the time of the crime.
I refuse to answer. Any more investigating you do would be a waste of time. Besides, how am I supposed to answer questions about things I don't know about?
Things you don't know about? Oh, I did. Okay, fine.
Sorry.
I guess I'll just die.
I'm still bouncing, and sometimes my finger whacks my mouse.
Yeah.
He should. Wait, is it possible? Maybe he doesn't know about the trick behind that piece of evidence. I should try showing it to him. It may prove to be the key to getting some answers from Detective Bad.
Check this shit out.
Look at this.
Detective Bad, did you know of the existence of the item in this photograph?
Of course I did. It's my job to know everything related to the Yatagarasu case.
In that case, let me ask you something. Did you know that the knife that killed Mr. Faraday and this Yatagarasu key are one and the same?
What? That's impossible.
It looks like he didn't know after all.
This piece of evidence, which we call the Yatagarasu's key, is actually a well-camouflaged knife.
Fuck.
Mr. Faraday was planning to use this Yatagarasu's key to prove that Mr. Rel was not the real Yatagarasu. Isn't that correct?
I guess so.
However, Mr. Faraday had no idea that it was, in fact, a knife.
Yeah, I have to admit, neither one of us knew that fact. And if neither of us knew, then no one in law enforcement knew either. How did we miss something this big?
I noticed that since a little while ago you appear to be searching for something. I presume that this key is what you were searching for.
Yeah, that's right.
And why were you searching for it?
Because I promised Faraday. I promised that I'd protect that key with my life. But after he was killed, the key disappeared from Faraday's evidence bag. Who would have thought that the key is what took Faraday's life?
Detective Bad, so that we may find the truth, please, testify for me once more.
All right. But it doesn't matter how many times I tell you about what happened. Nothing will change.
Time of the murder! Detective Bad. I ask that you please testify once more about what happened in lobby number 2 and what you experienced in lobby number 1.
My answer is still the same. And this, it's lagging,
It's the last time.
is the last time I'm going to do this.
That's fine, because I only need this last time to clear everything up. And the truth, I'll get it.
I was in lobby number 1, talking with you.
No, you weren't.
Not
I was
you,
somewhere
yeah.
else.
I'll kill you.
Why?
Why would you
She's
kill her?
Yeah.
We were talking about some trivial things. I heard the gunshot right before the trial was about to reconvene. When we heard it, you and I immediately dashed out into the hallway together. I saw Gumshoe goofing around there. Then we all ran into lobby number 2.
Francisca?
It sounds like the exact same story he told us before.
Indeed. However, we gotta do it.
Gotta do it.
Rebuttal. I was in lobby number 1.
Really, kid?
But
How
I wasn't
fucking
there
dare
in the
you.
lobby.
Who knows? She just said that she had something she wanted to talk to me about. And we walked into lobby number 1 together. That's all.
So his answer remains the same as before, I see.
We were talking about...
You already read all these, Will.
I know, but it's fun.
I was hoping you could expand, period, on what exactly you were discussing with Miss Yu.
How dare you? Trivial stuff. It was nothing important.
That's for me to decide. All right, I suppose that's for him to decide. Moving on then.
I heard the gunshot.
Hold it! Until you heard the gunshot, did you notice anything else that was out of the ordinary?
I didn't hear any other strange sounds until that gunshot.
If the gunshot Detective Bad heard was really the one from the murder, it would give that other piece of evidence an entirely different meaning. I ask that you please amend your testimony with that statement just now.
Sure. Whatever. I didn't hear any other strange sounds until that gunshot.
Balloon! Detective Bad, does this balloon fragment remind you of anything? What the fuck are you doing?
It's the same color as the one Kay was holding.
Oh, I am looking at something else. Just pretend I am talking.
Yeah. I was sitting with her up in the gallery. During the recess. Just before we split up, I filled the balloon up for her. Here you go, kid.
Gross! Well, as you may have already surmised, this piece did indeed come from Kay's balloon.
So, what about the balloon?
Do you like balloons? I was wondering if you might remember hearing this balloon pop at some point.
What are you getting at?
This fragment was found in the hallway right in front of lobby number 2. Furthermore, it was the sound of this balloon popping that the judge mistook as a gunshot.
Oh? So the sound that the judge heard was not exactly a gunshot, huh?
On top of that, his honor said that he heard the balloon pop about 20 minutes before the trial was to reconvene you.
Which means that His Honor heard the balloon pop in the hallway when you were in lobby number 1, Detective.
That is what you get for eating pizza while on
I'm
a
still
team.
gonna do it! And you were and if you were in lobby number 1 at the time, you were close enough that you should have heard the balloon popping as well.
So?
What? Don't give me a so!
We just proved that there is a flaw in your testimony.
The crackling of the truth is louder than the sound of your sweet naivete cracking. And since you kids don't seem to know, let me fill you in on something. Did you ever stop to think why the doors and walls of this place are so rugged? That's because they were designed to keep secrets from being leaked.
Hold it! Oh, sorry.
What is that supposed to mean?
Well, hold it's an expression that means stop.
The doors and walls are super thick. The window panes are double layered. To top it all off, even the curtains are made of a special sound-absorbing material.
Then you mean...
Then how'd you hear a gunshot?
Since
Yeah,
I was shut up inside.
I mean, a
lobby
gunshot's
number
louder
one.
than a balloon popping.
Since I was shut up inside lobby number 1, there was no way I could have heard that sound.
Kenzie, why aren't you in here?
Because, I don't know, is she part of the
Gnurk.
call? Gnurk!
Dun,
I knew that's what he was going to say.
Then that means that this scrub face's testimony is completely useless. The rooms are soundproofed, and of course he wouldn't hear any sign of struggle.
Oh!
That's also why it's only natural that I didn't hear the balloon popping.
Then
No.
what was that second thing you heard, bitch?
Now do you get it, kids?
Miles, I thought we were supposed to be the ones finding flaws in his logic. Not the other way around.
The other way around. It's not possible to hear the sound of a balloon popping if you were the one in lobby number 1. However, if we examine this situation in reverse, a person standing in the hallway should not have been able to hear a real gunshot either. And yet Detective Gumshoe claims to have heard it while he was standing in the hallway. Maybe it was in the courtyard then, since both of the windows were open.
Of course. Masaka.
Detective Bad, if that's the case, then how exactly did you hear the gunshot?
What do you mean? How? I just did.
Stinky
It
flowers.
would appear that you have yet to realize the contradiction in your own words.
How so? I guess I'm suddenly really stupid.
If the rooms are as soundproof as you say they are, then how did the sound of the gunshot enter your ears?
I see what you mean. I guess I'm more out of it from Faraday's murder than I had thought.
Whoa, stop crowding.
Which means what exactly, Myers? In the end, what does it all boil down to?
It boils down to this. There must be a reason as to how Detectives Bad and Gumshoe heard a gunshot they couldn't theoretically have heard. Oops, clicked off of the thingy again. It looks like we need to examine the state of the crime.
The state of the crime scene again, huh?
Yeah, you right. The state of the crime scene. Wait, can it be?
Is the older song within you as you know down it? I was noisy.
How could a piece of evidence just disappear? Where did it go?
Logic!
Oh, your favorite. Logic!
Logic!
Logic.
Whatever. That's the wrong window, but I'll try it anyway. It's simply not possible for the killer to have escaped through barred windows.
He went through the TV.
And yet, the fragrance of perfume managed to escape from defendant lobby number 1. Of course, incorporeal things can move freely through these open barred windows. The killer was a ghost!
Killer was gas.
It was the balloon all along.
It's filled with methane. That's what killed him.
Open windows made it so people could hear things.
Yeah.
They fucking threw the video out the window because it's so tiny.
Oh. I guess.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I just figured it might be in the TV. Oh no, okay.
For real?
Yeah, no, it's the things escape like TV sound.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, because sound doesn't have a body.
Now then, what else besides a smell can go both in and out of an open barred window? The answer is sound! So, no matter how careful the killer was, if the windows were open, the jig would be up. And since the windows in both defendant lobby number 1 and the hallway were open, no, they were left open on purpose to make a fake gunshot, which is why she purposefully spilled her perfume.
Mhm.
And that
What?
explains how the sound of a gunshot could be heard in both locations.
Wait, why did she spill her perfume?
It's
So
so powerful.
that's
To get the window open.
so that she would have people hear a fake gunshot.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't think these are related, but
Do it, do it.
yeah. Oh, very different. Very different from the exact thing I just tried. Fuck you.
Why are you getting mad? Who are you yelling at?
Fuck you, Tyrell
No,
Bass.
he just do this. It's okay. It's all part of the
Investigation
Von-
start.
It's all part of the Von Karma abilities.
The ability to scream.
It's how we get into the zone, as they say.
I'm eating pizza, so I'm just gonna let this play out.
Eureka!
Myers, what have you been thinking about? Stop wasting time thinking and start looking again.
Pizza.
And where would that be?
Box.
Mouth.
No.
Examine the TV!
Well, you get.
So the fake gunshot came from the evidence gunshot. Got it.
I'm glad that I
There's
got
from
it
the
wrong when I
TV.
tried to search for the missing evidence in the TV, you asshole bitch.
Oh, but then you wouldn't get all of the things of...
It doesn't matter. Actually, come to think of it, I don't think Detective Gumshoe actually touched the television at all. Furthermore, it seemed more like when a video feed suddenly stops. At least it did to me.
I wonder what it is.
It's a video player, and there seems to be a videotape inside. Oh well.
It looks like it's a tape, but it's not on its own when it reaches in.
This tape. Could it not be the missing surveillance tape?
I suppose, but...
Detective Bad, would it be alright with you if I verified the contents of this vid- Why are you asking fucking permission?
Sure, knock yourself out.
It's like making
Okay, so
coffee.
let's rewind this and see what we have.
If I remember correctly, the footage of Rel killing the embassy staff member should be at about the 30-minute mark from the start of the video.
Understood. This should be about right. Now then, let's see.
This is the footage of Mr. Rare shooting the embassy staff member.
I knew it. The missing piece of evidence. The surveillance video was here all along! Great.
Pretty stupid of the person to leave it here.
Yep.
This sound. What's the meaning of this?
Well, that's a videotape. By playing the tape, it can read sounds and visuals. It appears that Detective Bad has figured out the true source of the gunshot he heard. With this, I think we can figure out the trick behind this double murder.
Do you mean that you figured it all out then?
Yes. All I have to do now is show what the gunshot Detectives Bad and Gumshoe heard was, and through where they heard it from.
A gun!
In that case, show me what you've deduced.
If you say so, shoots Francisca.
Gun!
Huh?
This knife!
It won't be the last time Francisca gets shot.
My detective badge.
Ding ding.
Why do I need to even do this?
Miles, I believe that piece may actually be proof of the different sorts. It proves that today will be your last day as prosecutor.
Man, if you don't allow the TV but you allow the video player, I'm gonna murder you.
I'm assuming it wants you to point towards the window and the tape?
It said the tape. Really?
Roger's my guess.
Why?
Throw tape out window.
Because they want you to point out, like, what it was and where they heard it from. And I guess if the TV doesn't work, the window? Yeah.
Yeah, that's the best way to do that one, game designers. The killer could have used the gun, and no one would have been the wiser.
That's true. The courthouse does seem to be well designed for such a thing, as it were.
However, what happened in reality was, Detective Gumshoe, Detective Bad, and Miss Yu, all three of them heard the gunshot.
Well, the windows in lobby number 1, number 2, and the hallway were open. So naturally, the people in these locations could hear it.
Ah, but then why would the criminal open the window in the first place?
To allow the gunshot to be heard, I suppose.
Correct. That's the only logical conclusion we can draw from this.
But why was that necessary in the first place? I want a real answer, Miles. I demand satisfaction.
Me too, but I'm playing Ace Attorney Investigations. Very well. I believe that the killer wanted to manipulate our perception of a certain fact. What was it that the killer wanted to manipulate our perception of?
Where the crime took place.
When, but yeah. The killer wanted to fabricate the time of death to their precise wishes, and they used the gunshot in the surveillance video to do so. Bang!
Fine. So that's why the tape was left running.
You mean the gunshot I heard was from this video?
Yes, which means that the murders really occurred at an earlier time than we thought. It must have been during the recess, but before Detective Gumshoe was on guard duty. Someone who has no alibi for that time period and planned this crime out in advance. That person is the real killer. Investigation complete! Hey, not you. Come on, Detective Bad, get in on this.
Mr. Edward!
Yes, what is it?
Miss Yu is asking for you in the courtroom.
That's perfect, she's our murderer.
Oh no, she says that she's identified murderers. She wants to clarify something. Looks like Miss Yu is still investigating something.
Understood. Please tell her I will be right over. I'll come along.
Sorry, I'm texting my mom.
I want to hear what my mom has to say. It would appear that the time has come to uncover the truth.
I want to see Miss Yu be like, this is the murderer all along, points to 10-year-old Kay.
Probably.
Watch her do
Die.
that shit.
I don't-
Yeah, she might.
That's exactly what a fucking Ace Attorney, especially like a Shu Takumi game, would do. He loves pointing fingers at children.
Strange hobby.
September 10th, 6:15 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 3.
Did you eat my evidence?
Maybe.
Hey, I'm here too! I'm the murderer!
Kay, what are you doing here?
Oh, hello, mister. I'm still investigating.
But the object you're looking for has already...
Okay. Don't mind him. Please continue with your investigation.
Roger Dodger!
Detective Bad, haven't we already found what you were looking for?
If it means I can keep her in the dark just a little longer, any little task will do.
Oh, you're more sympathetic than I thought.
I've been waiting for you, Edgeworth.
But you've been here the whole time.
I said.
I've also been waiting for the moment in which we can finally lay this case to rest.
The moment we can lay this case to rest. Wasn't that when we placed Detective Gumshoe under arrest? I think we've more than solved this case already. Don't you?
We'll see. It all depends on whether or not your logic holds.
Oh, I see. Whoa, whoa, I can't read. That's too far away.
Sorry, I was trying to save it.
Okay. I see. We even have a viewer on the gallery, and why, even Mr. Bad is here.
A viewer in the gallery? I'm hardly just a bystander.
I have a duty to see this case through to the end, no matter how it turns out.
Oh, is that right? Anyway, I thought you might like to hear what I've slaved away to find out. I've taken statements on every single person's movements during the time when our suspect was in the hallway. I also confirmed that there's no possible route of escape from lobby number 2. Therefore, the killer must, without a doubt, be Detective Gumshoe.
And that's all you have.
Yeah, that's all there is to my conclusion, and this case.
Sorry, but I beg to differ. In a trial, there is always time for a rebuttal, and we are standing in a court of law. It'd be more than appropriate to follow the rules of court in this case, don't you think?
Absolutely like a rookie to think such a thing. But, alright, I'll play along. I'll give you proper testimony.
If my logic is correct, then I've already won. All I have to do now is prove it, by showing who the real killer is. The real killer is you! Me? No, come on.
Come on,
Sans from Undertale is the suspect?
Oh my god!
Beat you. Everyone, since a suspect has an alibi for when the gun went off. Furthermore, the areas around the crime scene have all been thoroughly investigated, right? I was also confirmed that there is no possible escape route from lobby number 2. Which leaves us with one unshakable conclusion, that Detective Gumshoe was the killer. Now that you have the testimony, I expect a good rebuttal, Edgeworth.
But of course, there is no need to confront her logic head-on right now. I should instead focus on drawing out any trump cards she has up her sleeve. The one thing this game is good at, like, almost a little too directly hinting at is telling you when you need to press. The suspect. But I thought that Detective Gumshoe's alibi had already been proven.
joking, Edgeworth.
I assure you this is no joke.
Look, I know you heard from the judge earlier that the detective was in the hallway with Mr. Faraday's daughter eating a Swiss roll.
Yes, that is correct.
But see, that was 20 minutes before the real gunshot went off, right? And the problem is there's no one else who can corroborate with what he did since the snacking.
I see she's done her research well. There's something about young Edgeworth's sprite set that really bothers me, where there's always a highlight on the left side of his head, except in this portrait, where it disappears and becomes dark, and it's driving me insane. Which means that I should focus on drawing out whatever trump card she's withholding.
I wonder if her freak out thing, she'll just pull off one of her earrings or something.
I think she's just gonna have a really big laugh.
Yeah, I think she's gonna have, like, Joker face.
Whether they have been thoroughly investigated or not is for me to decide.
The scratched eyebrows and line on your forehead, they're back! Anyway, even if you believe it hasn't been exhaustive, the crime scene, lobby number 2, has no way out other than the hallway Detective Gumshoe was standing in. And because he claimed to be there, that makes him the only possible suspect.
But isn't it also possible that someone escaped through a window and into the garden? No.
No.
This is the first place everybody looks, silly. The police aren't a bunch of lazy bombs. They looked into every possibility, you know. Isn't that right, Mr. Bad?
Why am I here?
Yeah. There wasn't a scrap of evidence to suggest someone used one of the windows. There also weren't any footprints or anything in the courtyard garden.
I suppose they really did check everything that could be relevant to the case. Oh well, bye Gumshoe.
Oh, man!
Oh, well, me, pal.
Are you absolutely positive that there are no possible routes of escape?
Of course I'm sure.
And why are you so certain?
This is a courthouse. I sneak around here all the fucking time. The place where
I live
criminals
here.
are to be judged. Oh yeah, I'm totally homeless, by the way. If there were an escape route, I'm sure every criminal would be using it to escape. It's just common sense.
Miles Edgeworth, I suggest you use a bit more of it in the... What?
Why am I being punished for
Common
pressing?
sense.
I don't know.
You may think it's unshakable, but to me there are still too many unanswered questions. For example, who was it that placed the gun in Mr. Faraday's hand?
But you're the only one still wondering that. Detective Gumshoe probably had no idea which hand Faraday used to write with. Even if you know someone, it doesn't mean you'll know which hand they write with, right? I mean, I certainly don't care about that sort of thing.
I'm not about to let her get a rise out of me with such a flippant statement. I suppose we've really reached the end now. I already have my trump card. Oh, I read that as, I already have my trump card already, and all that remains is to play it. But before I do, I think I should inquire into a little something about her argument. You said earlier that you confirmed the alibis of every person other than the suspect. However, I don't recall either Francisco or myself speaking with you about the suspect.
Ah, but there were witnesses. For you, there's your mentor who gave you an alibi.
I see.
As for the little missy, she came to the courthouse during the recess. And was stopped by a security guard at the door to the hallway. She gave him quite a whipping for that, or so I heard.
I am the daughter of Manfred von Karma, and I will not be forcibly stopped by a guard, or a bailiff, or anyone else.
Wait, so basically the only reason Francisca bothered to show up today was because she found out that I was to be the replacement prosecutor? By the way, Miss Yu, what about everyone's alibis before Detective Gumshoe was assigned to guard duty?
What about them?
Don't you yawn.
Sorry, it's
Have you-
so
Hey,
boring.
what are you doing?
No, just doing this laugh takes a lot of air out of me,
Yeah,
and then
no.
it goes to my head.
Oh no.
I'm actually Miss Chamomile after all.
What the fuck? That'd be so out there. I would love an Ace Attorney game where secretly the bad guy is the same person in every single case. Have you looked into what people were doing during that span of time?
What kind of idiot do you take me for? It doesn't matter when the killer went to lobby number 2. From the time we heard the gunshot, to the time Mr. Bad and I arrived on the scene as we dashed from lobby number 1, the only person who could have committed the crime was Detective Gumshoe. I'm just running in circles.
Me too, for some reason. Yes, let's talk about when you and Detective Bad heard that gunshot, shall we? I suppose that if we go by your logic, then Detective Gumshoe is the only one. However, what if the crime had occurred at an entirely different time than when the gunshot you heard went off? What then? That gunshot was a trap meant to manipulate our perception of... Okay.
Sadly, your explanation is very lacking, Edgeworth.
You didn't even let me finish.
The gunshot we heard in lobby number 1. Care to explain how that could have been fabricated?
Take that!
That tape. Oh, I see you crack it in half. I get it. Yeah.
Yes.
Like this. Oh, damn.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Oh.
It's exactly what you think it is. This is the surveillance tape of Mr. Rail, the prosecution fuck. That was found loaded in the video player in lobby number 2. That was connected to the large... I feel like I'm fucking this up really hard.
It's fine. We all are.
What does that mean? Are you the murderer? To the large television that had its volume turned all the way up.
You can't honestly mean that the sound we heard was the gunshot in the video.
Ah, but I do. Which leads me to my next point. The murders occurred much earlier than when anyone heard the gunshot. I'm over here now.
I'm over here now, yeah.
I love the thing he sprinted around. That's the only thing I can think of, too.
Oh, that's me. After committing double homicide, the killer took the surveillance video out from Mr. Faraday's evidence bag, turned the television's volume all the way up, and left the video to play. If played from the beginning, it would take 30 minutes for the gunshot sound to come on. And since we now know this method of time manipulation is possible, it opens up the possibility that the killer is someone other than Detective Gumshoe.
Sounds from a television doesn't amount to much here. But of course, Mr. Prosecutor... Oh, sorry. But of course, Mr. Prosecutor Edgeworth and Little Miss Von Karma already knew that much from the very beginning, right?
Of course we knew. Didn't we, Miles?
Yes, of course. We know about the soundproof quality of this courtroom's rooms. Room. Of course, Rev, of course, I'm not about to admit that we had no idea until a little while ago.
That's right. And if the silent men. If the rooms are soundproof, then we should not have been able to hear it. And yet, we heard the gunshot clear as day.
And?
That's it. End of story.
But it's not.
You're gonna, like, draw over her face.
How should I explain why she was able to hear a gunshot from a soundproof room?
There's a hole in the wall.
Dear
Everyone
Liza.
knows that there's a glory hole between 1 and 2.
Oh,
God.
gross. There is, actually, one common point between lobby number 1 and lobby number 2. And it is that despite... You fuck! Despite the fact that both rooms have air conditioners installed, a window was open in each. Now we know what the window in lobby number... Now, we know that the window in lobby number 2 was opened by the killer. However, a window in lobby number 1 was also opened.
Objection! It's probably just a coincidence that they were both open at the time.
No. It was no mere coincidence, I assure you. Why was the window opened in lobby number 1? The answer is that a certain person did something to cause the window to be opened. And the person who triggered that action, that person is the real guilty party. The real killer in this double murder is... Kay Faraday!
Oh, Mr. Edgeworth!
Oh, Mr. Edgeworth.
Mr... Oops. Miss Callisto Yu, I hereby formally indict you on the murder of Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rell.
What?
You indict me?
Indict, yes.
Indict?
Yeah,
Are you
indeed.
serious, Miles? Why do you think she is the killer?
Well, she's the only person who we haven't already questioned, so...
Are you right?
I don't understand her motive just yet. But of course I'm serious. Because she is the only one who could have done it. Well, Miss Yu, do you still feel like laughing now?
Of course I do, Edgeworth.
My argument must not be tight enough yet.
Although I never thought things would spiral into this. But I'll have you know I'm enjoying this dance quite a bit. I guess this means this is time for my own rebuttal now, right?
Runs.
You'll never get me! You argue that the window was opened, however, do you have proof that it was I who did that? Furthermore, do you have proof that the tape was used in committing the crime? Frankly, I'm shocked at you for going around accusing people of murder like this, especially with logic as full of holes as yours.
Actually, it's pretty okay so far.
Shut up, Bad!
This is where it really starts. I mustn't let my guard down for even a second, or the truth will blow away. Now is the time to put the talented Von Karma perfect proof to the test. Francisca, forge me some evidence.
Yes, right away.
Where's the
We're just-
poop?
Where's the perfume?
Well, that was fast. I'm sure you've seen this before, haven't you, Miss Yu?
Ew!
Edgeworth, I never knew you were into wearing that kind of perfume. It's not exactly what I'd recommend for boys, you know, but you know.
What? This isn't mine!
That's right, it's mine, and I received it from Dr. Bad, I guess now.
Thank you.
Dr. Bad!
I have a PhD in bullets.
Oh shit! Hey, Roma.
Hey, Roma.
Miss Yu, you can pretend all you like, but we know at least this much for sure. That this bottle of perfume was given to Detective Bad by you.
But it gets me really what? Because it gets what?
Because it gets really strong really fast.
Oh, so what about the perfume?
While you were in the lobby, I always think there's an invisible "the" there, and I don't know why. While you were in lobby number 1, you made a big show of spilling some of this perfume. That's according to Detective Bad.
Smells like shit.
Oh, I know.
You also knew that if you spilled it, he would naturally move to open a window.
Objection. Come now, I've already told you that's all just a big coincidence. After we opened the window in lobby number 1, I just left it open, you know? So, maybe it was just dumb luck that we heard the gunshot through the window.
Objection! The timing of when you were going to spill the perfume is something you could control. I mean, I guess, but like, it could be an accident. And the most important fact about this case is when people were made to hear the shot. Furthermore, it would have been pointless if you didn't have an alibi for yourself at the time.
You mean?
Miss Yu, you were the one who called Detective Bad into lobby number 1. When you saw him bring Detective Gumshoe into the hallway. Oh, when you saw him bring him into the hallway. Is that correct? All of today's premeditated events could have only been thought up by you, Miss Yu.
What?
Slices right through her cheek.
Yeah.
Ha ha ha. You accuse me of murder on the fact that I spilled a little perfume. Well, allow me to say this much. I couldn't have killed Mr. Faraday.
Would you care to testify as to why?
Look, I've had a lot of fun today, really. But I grew weary of this game of cat and mouse.
I want to say, Civ, I really like your performance as this girl.
Really good.
Very good.
Let's
kid.
make this the last testimony and wrap up this absurd case once and for all. Accusing someone of murder over a spilled bottle of perfume is a bit over the top, but I suppose forgery of evidence is to be expected of a disciple of Von Karma. In any case...
I mean, that's
It's
true,
sim-
but I don't think it's
it's
public knowledge.
Yeah, she just throwing shade. In any case, it simply could not have been me who killed Mr. Faraday. After all, I don't even know where the knife that was used to kill him came from.
Miles, Her testimony is flawless. Fuck.
Yes, but no matter what sort of trick she may try to pull, she won't escape me. And if I'm lacking in information, I'll just draw it out of her.
There may be rumors, but no one is, actually thinking, yeah, totally, totes.
At this rate, she will inevitably escape. But if she really was the one who killed Mr. Faraday, then she must have known about the existence of the knife. I'm sorry, Miss Yu. Maybe you weren't aware. However, the knife that was used to kill Mr. Faraday was taken from his evidence bag.
Miss, what do you think you're doing?
I don't know, just fucking around, just trying things. Tell me if it's bad.
Alright, fine. Just
I'm drawing the truth out of her, that's what I'm doing.
Huh? I don't recall a knife being presented at the trial earlier today.
Well, I suppose that's because the evidence was something Mr. Faraday had yet to use.
Ah, so that's what you're trying to do. Look, why don't you cut it out with the lies? I've already figured you out. There was no knife inside Mr. Faraday's evidence bag. The only evidence he had yet to present was the key the Yatagarasu had sent. And unless a key can magically turn into a knife, you really don't have a leg to stand on. Did you really think you could trap me? Come now, be honest.
I never intended to do such a thing. It was all a misunderstanding on my part. In any case, I wonder if you might append what you just said to your testimony.
Sure, why not? I'll even say it as many times as you like.
Say it 400 times.
Okay, hold on.
Oh, oops. Didn't mean... I'm trying to skip through this. Skip. Skip. There we go.
Here comes the slam.
Miss Yu, I wonder if you might take a look at this photo for me. This is a picture of the key the Yatagarasu sent to the police. However, while it may look like a key at first glance, it in fact has the secret ability to transform into a knife. Which means that when it was inside Mr. Faraday's bag, it was both the Yatagarasu's key and the murderous knife. You knew that the key was inside Mr. Faraday's bag, did you not?
Yes.
Oh, well, good. Well, with the Yatagarasu's key alone, it's more than possible to kill Mr. Faraday. Do you understand now? Just knowing of the existence of the Yatagarasu key...
Objection.
Her voice really sounds like a dude on her objection.
They probably just reused the same one.
I mean...
I still haven't had a good look at it.
Everyone has a
Showing it to me
unique
from
one.
that far away. You could be lying for all I know.
You would even now still feign ignorance.
I'm not feigning anything. But we can't have you accusing me of a crime with false evidence, now can we? I mean, Mr. Von Karma, I've heard some very interesting rumors about him.
Are you mocking my papa?
Don't you dare sully the good name of my mentor. I bet... on my father's life, I bet he is a good boy. Now, take a good look. This piece of evidence is more than real.
Wow, who knew there was such a trick to this thing? I would have killed him years ago.
Are you satisfied now? But of course, you knew from the very beginning, didn't you? You knew that the knife and the Yatagarasu's key are one in the same. Otherwise, someone like you, who isn't a member of law enforcement, and who would never have been privy to this trick, would have never known about it to begin with. Furthermore, the something the Yatagarasu sent to the police. How did you have knowledge as to what it was?
Actually, I heard about it from Mr. Faraday. Just before he dragged Mr. Rell off, he told me. Oh, that's right, I almost forgot. Oh wait, no, this isn't an impression. He also told me about the key turning into a knife at that time. But he didn't tell me about how the key actually transforms.
What you are saying is simply not possible.
Oh? And why not?
Because Mr. Faraday himself didn't know about the hidden knife within the key. But within these pages, he mentions nothing about a knife.
Objection! I'm not sure he would have written anything in his organizer. Or, sorry, everything in his organizer, you know. Wouldn't something of this importance be better left to oral communication?
No?
Unfortunately, that is also impossible, because Detective Bad didn't know about the knife aspect either. Hiss. What would have been highly classified information, even within the police force, and is something that even the lead detective on the case didn't know? Why would Mr. Faraday have felt the need to share such information with the opposition?
Yeah, and I guess he wouldn't have much of a reason to...
Boy, you just got real fucked, didn't you?
Looks like I gave a pretty lame excuse, huh?
How can you laugh at a time like this?
She probably just realized her flaw in logic and is actually in a panic over it. But that's not something we need to concern ourselves with.
I suppose you're right. Miss Yu, I'd like to state that I also know how you know the real nature of the knife.
Do you know? Well, why don't you put your money where your mouth is and show me?
Oh, I will, and I'll wipe that smile off your face by the time we're through. This is it. The moment of truth. The secret behind the Yatagarasu's key. Only one person would have had knowledge of it from the get-go. Who would know from the start that the Yatagarasu's key could change into a knife? There is only one person who would have known about the dual nature of the key.
And that is?
And that is the person who sent the Yatagarasu's key to the police. That is to say, the Yatagarasu herself.
Are you saying that this lawyer is the great thief, Yatagarasu?
Miss Yu, you used Mr. Rel to lure Mr. Faraday into a trap, didn't you? You, who professed to bear a grudge against... criminals. Why? Why do something like this?
Dies.
Who would have thought that you, a stupid rookie prosecutor, would see through me? You're sending the biggest chill down my spine right now, Edgeworth. This feeling of thrill. It's even greater than when I sneak into someplace.
You killed Faraday. You killed Faraday. Why? Answer me. Callisto, you.
Callisto, you. That's not my real name. Because my real identity is, yes, the great thief Yatagarasu. Let me tell you something, Edgeworth. It's lagging. Hold on. No, Mr. Faraday was one difficult man to deal with. For you see, he had discovered my true identity, which is why I had to erase him from the world of law. I made Rel an offer, an acquittal for a little favor in return. All he had to do was accuse Mr. Faraday of being the Yatagarasu in court. But once we entered the recess, Rel was dragged off by Mr. Faraday, which threw my plan into complete mess. I chased after them and eavesdropped on them and through a crack in the door. That Rel caves to only two things, money and authority, just as all thugs do. I feared my plan was going to be ruined if Mr. Faraday held on to Rel any longer. Plus, if I had let him continue on the way we were, he would have been found out. That's why I had no choice. I had to kill them both.
Didn't you say that you despised criminals?
But I do, really.
think that was, but do I really?
Oh, oops.
Have you forgotten about the KG-8 incident too?
Maybe.
What sort of woman would...
What kind of a woman would do what you did? So then, was it your plan to kill Mr. Faraday with the very evidence that you sent?
Haha. Well, I had a good idea of what Mr. Faraday was going to do. I anticipated that Mr. Faraday was going to prove that Rel wasn't the Yaragarasu by using this Yaragarasu's key as evidence that he would bring it with him.
Whoa, who died?
Roll my left.
Okay.
Which is why I thought I would use the knife portion. With a weapon as well disguised as this, no one would be the wiser. Because who in their right mind would think something like this could be a weapon? I casually entered lobby number 2 on the pretext that I had to talk with Mr. Faraday. And in order to get in with him, I pretended to be worried about something. He then let me hold on to the Yaragarasu's key just like that. He never noticed that I changed the key into a knife inside the plastic bag. And he didn't have the chance to take note of the knife that took his life.
How could you kill him?
I knew him for a long time, you know. At the very least, I thought to give him a quick and painless death.
But if you killed Mr. Faraday first, there was no reason for you to kill Mr. Rel as well.
I believe I mentioned why we're placing Detective Gumshoe under arrest. Something about having accidentally created an eyewitness, and how that led the killer to think about setting them up as though they killed each other.
And the trick with the surveillance tape. Oops. Yep.
Yes, I hadn't actually planned to use a gun. The risk was too high that I'd be caught. However, that's when I remembered the existence of that surveillance tape, which is why I had Rel help me set up the crime scene. And after all was said and done, rewarded him for all his hard work with a bullet.
You're a defense attorney, aren't you? How could you betray a client?
Client! If you want to talk about who was a client of whose first, it was me.
Huh?
I was the client in the murder of the Cadopian embassy staff member, Dyed Man.
You ordered a hit job?
You still haven't figured it out, Mr. Bad. I had Dyed Man killed because he was about to give away info about the smuggling ring. Now, who exactly do you think would benefit from such an assassination?
It can't be. You're...
That's right. I'm a member of the smuggling ring.
How could this?
You don't mean... You're working with Manny Cochin too?
Maybe not. I guess you'll never know.
The Yatakarasu claims to be noble, but you're just another cold-blooded killer!
That's right, little girl. The Yaragarasu's just another killer.
Be quiet, you!
Yatagarasu! You can run from the law, but you'll never escape it! So just humbly accept the judgment of this court!
Or not, no humbly.
Hey, Etchworth. Did you know the Yatagarasu has 3 legs? Do you know where that is?
'Cause of my massive dick!
Oh yeah, that's whatever. No! Well, let me tell you. It means that the Yatagarasu has more than one razor-sharp way to do her work. Wow!
God.
You really are too naive, Edgeworth. You even handed the Yatagarasu key right to me without a second thought. Everything may not have gone according to plan, but I'll still gladly take it.
You mean the key was your real target?
And even after I gave you such a great advice, didn't I tell you to always keep a good eye on a criminal? Or you may regret what comes from your negligence.
Get down! I probably have a gun. I probably have a gun, but I'm gonna do nothing.
My body, I can't move.
Hey, mister, to your right!
You!
Are you all right, Francisca?
I'm perfectly fine, Miles.
Her voice is shaking, but it looks like she's unharmed. Where did Kay go? Oh shit. That's a gunshot.
Oh shit. That's a gunshot.
That's a gunshot.
Why is Kay following her? She's gonna kick her.
Sorry, but it looks like she got away. I called the precinct. They should have a perimeter set up soon.
Detective Bat, are you all right? I heard a gunshot.
I'm okay. Just got another hole in my jacket.
Liar, you're gonna fucking die.
Oh no, I like him. He may say he's fine, but he looks quite shaken.
But more importantly, boy, I mean, Mr. Edgeworth, Ms. Von Karma, are you two hurt?
I'm absolutely fine.
I'm also all right. Thanks to Kay.
Speaking of Kay, where is she?
I don't know. She just sort of disappeared.
I'll go look for her. Oh, and hey, Detective Gumshoe. Yes, sir. Detective Bad, sir.
Die.
I'm sorry I doubted you. Don't worry about it, sir. It's not your fault. Well, I lied to you guys too, after all. I heard about what happened from Kay. Lying while giving testimony is still unforgivable. But in this case, you were protecting Kay and her feelings. Looks like you just might have what it takes to be a real detective. Now, don't you ever lose that detective spirit, okay? You got us, Pops!
Pops. Watched one too many detective dramas recently, have we?
Way to single-handedly
Can't afford
destroy the cheery atmosphere with one snarky comment, you stinking bitch.
I thought you were gonna call her a slut.
I should get back to the investigation. I swear, I'll catch you if it's the last thing I do.
Did you
But
want to
I'm
play
right
tag? Yeah.
Just slaps him with the mirror.
I deserve this. Be careful, Detective Bat. And take care.
Thanks. Well, I'm off. Maybe we'll run into each other again someday.
I mean, I hope you're in the last case. Oh man, he's probably gonna be like the victim, isn't he?
So, thanks a bunch, pal. You're the best. You really did find out the truth behind everything.
Yes, well, I'm glad we solved everything before you were taken to prison.
Me too.
I can't believe how much trouble I caused you with my testimony, Detective Gumshoe.
I was no problem, really. I mean, I lied too, so I didn't help anything. It's really not your fault, Your Honor.
Well, even if we don't have his honor's testimony, I think that lawyer would have found another way to get you convicted on her behalf.
Yeah, I can't believe I was about to get fired during my first week as a detective and go to jail.
Well, so long as you're not fired, you should work hard. Give all that you have and perform your duties well. Oh, and one more thing. Kay left a present for you with me.
She did? Oh, what is it?
$5. What was it that Kay left for me? The proof of their
Bloody
friendship.
bad.
Gun! Gun!
I mean, I guess this, right? Like, what else would it be?
Yeah.
But I'll check.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be the promise journal?
No, that was
No.
I
evidence.
don't think.
Okay.
Take that. It's a courthouse special Swiss roll.
A kick in the back, says Chad.
A boot to the head.
Can I really have it?
Yes, it's a present meant for you, after all.
Thanks a bunch. I'll actually have something to eat this week. I'm gonna eat this right now.
Sure, go ahead. The Swiss Rolls Detective... Oh, Jesus Christ. It's like watching a
Getting
hog.
everywhere.
Oh, it's so good.
the Swiss Rolls Detective Gumshoe and K-Bot together. The way he learned his powers, while the one K saved never reached her father. It would appear that her sentiments have touched the heart of this detective.
He's so happy. It's as though he's having a welcome back celebration of his own.
Well, I was asked by Kay to give it to him.
Whoop! That was good, pal.
I think that was supposed to be like a woo!
Just had to be it, and so it's whoop. I can't believe I got to eat 2 of these delicious things in one day. It's like I'm in Swiss roll paradise or something. I've got to thank Kay myself. Wait, where is she?
He only noticed just now. Was his mind not present when we discussed her earlier? Detective Bad left to go search for her earlier. Maybe you should go join him.
Yeah, you betcha, pal. I'm gonna go help him. Oh, but first. You know what, pal? Actually, I guess I shouldn't be so rude to you anymore, huh? I'm gonna stick right by your side from now on, Mr. Edgeworth, sir.
I sense nothing but a most troublesome relationship from that ominous statement.
We should go home too, Miles. I have to hurry and report what has happened to Papa.
Agreed. Well, I'm afraid we must be going now, Detective.
Roger, sir. And don't you worry. I'll investigate the next case we're on real well.
I'll, be counting on you. The scent of trouble is definitely in the air.
They go home, Von Karma shoots them both dead for having her escape.
Fair. I mean, not fair, but like Von Karma fair. Thus, like a bad dream, my first outing at the court came to a disturbing end. A few months later, I was finally able to properly stand in court as a prosecutor. But the detective in charge of the investigation was, as I dreaded, Detective Gumshoe. After that, he became my direct subordinate. I have tried, but words fail to describe the immeasurable suffering he has caused me. Don't so mean!
Guys!
But I suppose that's just how things are. As for the little girl who suddenly disappeared, she finally got a shirt. She's now...
Dead.
How did this not come up before?
So, do you remember now?
Yes, I remember everything. Kay, it's been a while.
Kay! You sure grew up a lot.
Of course! But thank goodness. I thought you two had totally forgotten about me.
Well, you didn't mention it at all, and you were mean to Gumshoe.
Whoops!
You know, I was really worried about you after all that. Where have you been all this time?
You were worried about you? Gummy, I didn't know you cared. After my father died, I went to go live with my mother's relatives.
Her name was Callisto Yu.
I'm not gonna make that joke because it might be true. They lived really far away, so I wasn't really able to come back here all that much.
Oh, is that what happened? Well, I'm just glad you're all right.
So, does it all make sense now?
You betcha it does. Oh, no, it doesn't.
Oh, you know what? I was going through my father's bookshelves recently and...
Hold it!
You don't have
Actually, there
books.
are still a number of things that don't make sense, Kay.
Huh?
Back to older Edgeworth with his nonsense voice. First of all, why did you come all this way to see me? And second, why are you calling yourself the Yatagarasu?
Oh, I killed her and ate her soul!
What the fuck? The Yatagarasu is Callisto Yu, the woman who killed your father.
No, you're wrong. The real Yatagarasu was my father.
Huh?
Mr. Faraday was the Yatagarasu?
Like I said, I was going through my father's bookshelf recently, and I found a secret diary hidden among his books. I have no regrets in choosing to walk the path of the Yatagarasu. That was written in his diary, and that's how I know for sure. But that's fucking bullshit. Shut up!
But that's impossible.
What's with that look? You don't believe me?
It wasn't just the expression on my face. I clearly said it was impossible just now.
All right then, how do you explain this?
I'll recreate my father! It's a way of disarming any security system of the user's choosing.
Yep. That's Little Thief. Truth be told, this is Yatagarasu's greatest secret. And this little gizmo was used by my father.
Wow! Mr. Faraday wasn't just a prosecutor, he was a really great thief, huh?
Yeah, my father worked really hard to steal the truth.
Gumshoe, this isn't good.
But he was killed, and the Yatagarasu is no more. But despite that, the Yatagarasu has been spotted again recently.
Someone other than you. That's
Here,
right,
Mr.
it's you.
Edgeworth. Take a look at this article. Yatagarasu sends card to embassy.
The Yatagarasu sent the embassy a calling card.
Yeah, meaning this person's a fake. I'm almost certain that the Callisto U lady is behind this. Because the real Yatagarasu would never send something like a gaudy card out.
But the Yatagarasu did send a white card along with anything to be publicized. That's what Detective Bad told me 7 years ago, if memory serves.
Well, as soon as I heard the news, I got all wound up and I knew I couldn't just let it go. So, I searched you out so that I could obtain the truth behind the Yatagarasu. Because if anyone can help me find it, I figured it's you, Mr. Edgeworth.
So you're saying that I have your father's and Miss Yu's identities backwards?
Yes, because the real Yatagarasu is noble to the end. And I want to revive the real noble Yatagarasu. If I don't, my father will never be able to rest in peace.
Okay.
Kay, you're so honorable to become a thief. I don't care what anyone else thinks. I'll always be here to cheer you on, pal.
I'm still stealing your deuteragonist role. Even if you are honorable, a thief is a thief. And if you are plotting to commit a crime, then I'm afraid I can't be complicit.
Mr. Edgeworth. Ooh, you guys are not being easy for me. Who am I supposed to support now?
Mr. Edgeworth,
Oh, okay, I'll support him then.
what I want from you is not to steal something. What I want is the arrest of that evil woman.
That evil woman. You mean Callisto U?
No, I meant Francisca von Karma.
Also acceptable, I agree.
I think it's too hard for me to catch her all by myself. But I thought that since you were able to expose her for who she is, then maybe... Please, Mr. Edgeworth, won't you help me?
No.
Come to think of it, I do believe I owe you.
Huh? Owe me for what?
That kick in the shorts, yeah! When Miss Yu made her escape, it was you who saved my life. Furthermore, you helped me with the investigation today. I'm not so rude as to leave favors unrepaid.
How far does her mouth go down?
Oh, you don't want
That's
that
the
far.
secret of the Yatagarasu. Yes. That case has been weighing down on my soul ever since that fateful day.
Oh gosh, she has the key in her hair.
Maybe. Perhaps
Or at
that
least the
time.
theme of it.
Perhaps the time has come to settle things once and for all. If you don't intend to sully your hands in a crime, then I believe I can help you.
Mr. Edgeworth, thank you!
Yay, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Isn't that great, Kay?
Yeah, it sure is, Gummy.
Why are you wearing the Yatagarasu symbol on your scarf? That's probably a bad idea.
Even though he had completely forgotten about her until just now. What's with their chummy relationship? I hate it! Gumshoe is my best friend!
They call me Chummy Gummy.
Haha.
Ugh. The great thief Yatagarasu. After all that time, the true identity of the thief sank back into the darkness. Byrne Faraday, Callisto U, and Kay Faraday. The phantasmagorically changing identity of the great thief Yatagarasu. And the Yatagarasu's real goal. It would all come to light in the day after I made that promise to Kay.
The end.
All right,
And nobody died.
that's definitely the stopping point. Turnabout
You
ablaze.
should highlight this stream because it had a lot of good moments.
Okay. All right. Yeah, no, I've heard the last case is like bonkers long.
Oh, it
Oh,
takes
boy.
fucking ever.
Yeah, so like,
It might as well have been 2.
oh god. I might like plow through half of it solo, and then maybe once I've like figured out who the cast is, I'll assign people. The worst part is like I know who the villain in the last one is too, just from from parodies I've seen. So that's gonna take some fun away from it. Actually, like, you're gonna need a walkthrough. Oh fuck. Oh man, that's not good.
Are you doing it tomorrow? I have tomorrow off and I can help you out.
I might. I kind of don't want to, honestly, since I like having Civ and Will here for voice stuff, and they'll be ebb and warding.
We sure will.
Yeah, shit, that's happening.
Totally dope.
I mean, I'll probably be playing it in the morning, and I might be silent streaming it. So, like, maybe after they take a break from ebb and ward, if they still have energy, we can do some of it, but we'll see.
There's some stuff that happens in that case that makes me want to die.
Alright, well, thanks everyone for coming down. This is a pretty fun stream. Thanks, fellow voicemans. Woo!
Yay!
See you some other time. See
Toodles.
space, you cowboy.
See space, you cowboy.
Ba-da-da.